Welcome back to the channel, for another 40k 10-minute battle rep.
Look who's back. Look.
We're going back to the Golden Banana Custard Creams, for a 2000 point match against Dark Angels. As much as I probably need to focus on one army for a bit, I'm not done flitting between armies yet.
Oh, just read the manuals, read the books.
Manuals?
Read the
What
books.
manuals?
Read the books.
So let's take a look at the rosters, and start the timer. As you can see, I managed to track down some proper blaze cannon turrets for my Custodes. These are totally above board and legal and not at all third-party replicas.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
Our battle rules are search and destroy deployment, purge the foe, and vox static. Here's deployment. Oh, just as an aside, except for the cranes I painted all the terrain on the board.
And that's just one side of me.
It's nothing fancy, but I think I've found a way of painting dirty rusty terrain that works quite well for very little effort. We're playing pretty much everything as ruins except for the cranes and the individual shipping containers which aren't on bases. Anyway, I put my termies and the custodian guard squad into deep strike, and everything else starts on the table. I have to deploy the bikes really far back to avoid being potentially shot at in turn 1. Here's Dark Angels, and they deploy like so, with the termies and Deathwing Knights going into deep strike. I get the first turn, and I'm using tactical objectives. I draw investigate signals and bring it down. Here's movement. One of my Custodes retreats into my back corner to score investigate signals. The bikes, even with their turbo boost, can't get wholly within 9 inches of the top corner, so they opt to claim the top left objective, and make it sticky with their free strat. The other Custodes is able to draw line of sight to the Dark Shroud.
Let's bring it down, shall we?
Yeah, the Custodes destroys it with ease, although the invulnerable saves are always a bit of a worry. So, I score both of my cards, for 6 points. Dark Angels turn 1 cards are teleport homers and behind enemy lines. Movement seems conservative, but isn't really. The Outriders secure the bottom right objective, and next to them, the Landspeeder Vengeance is positioned to fire at the Custodes. Up top, something strange is going on. Let's take a closer look.
There's more here than meets the eye.
Yes, the Redemptor, Stormspeeder, and Hellblasters are all able to move to see my bikes, through a gap in the terrain. Here's another angle. Well, bikes can't use any defensive strats, and get promptly mullered and mown down.
Wow!
No secondaries for DA then, but they score 4 for kill 1, as do I. It's 10-4 to Custodes, but that bike unit was heckin' expensive. Heckin' fucking expensive. Heckin' fucking bastarding shiting.
Stop it!
My turn 2 cards, no prisoners and extend battle lines. Both Custodes move to target the Landspeeder Vengeance. They can both draw a bead to its rear. Sags move to the center and steal the objective. I'm paralyzed with what to do with the Galatus Dread, and keep it hidden behind ruins for some reason.
This is a mistake.
I mean, what the frick's it even doing down there? I also don't bring in any of my deep strikers yet. This is because I don't think there's anywhere they can come in yet where they won't be able to be targeted by the majority of the DA force, and with Oaths of Moment even my Custodian Guard will just get annihilated, so I want to bide my time. Another mistake, perhaps. Between them, the Custodes do manage to destroy the Landspeeder Vengeance. So that's 5 for extend battle lines, and 2 for no prisoners. DA turn 2. His cards, which I don't have a picture of, are Defense Stronghold and Area Denial. So, the Redemptor and Stormspeeder come crashing through the gap in the ruins, as his termies and Knights deep strike in to threaten my Custodes. They're making a strong play for my home turf.
This is my treehouse. You shouldn't be anywhere near here.
A closer look at the Deathwing Knights. Man, I love these models. And a better look at the rest of his forces hurtling towards me. So in shooting, he does a wound to the Dreadnought, and then unloads against one of the Custodes? But it survives with 1 wound remaining. Yeah, toughness 11 is a thing. To make matters worse, none of his units managed to make their charges. So, the failure to kill anything this turn causes a huge gap in points, as I score 12 for primaries and Dark Angels only score 4, plus only 3 secondary points, for Defense Stronghold. That makes the scores 39-21 to Custodes so far. My turn 3 cards are Defend Stronghold and Storm Hostile Objective. I might be ahead on points, but things are looking worrying for my Custodes. I can't move the wounded one or it'll get destroyed in Overwatch. The other one retreats as much as possible. The SAG guard move round to target the Hellblasters, and I decide that my deep strikers are better off coming down in the bottom right than trying to go head to head with all the nastiness in the top left. Oh, my Vindicator moves round to target Azrael. I think I actually forgot to fire him last turn.
You fucking idiot.
In shooting, both of the Custodes managed to take out the Stormspeeder. I kill 2 Outriders down here, and the SAG guard decide to target the Intercessors instead, killing 4 of them. The Vindicator takes careful aim against Azrael, and rolls a 1 to hit.
Oh, there's a fucking surprise.
The SAG guard then make their easy charge into the Primaris Librarian and remaining Intercessor, and muller them both, and I also get lucky on a charge down here with my Custodian guard, who make it into Samael in the last Outrider. Somehow I only manage to kill the Outrider, though, and Samael survives with a few wounds left. I do score Storm Hostile, for 5 points, and will get at least 8 for primaries. Dark Angel's turn 3 cards are Bring It Down and Secure No Man's Land. The pussified Samael retreats from my raging Custodians, and falls back behind some ruins. Azrael bears down on the SAG guard, as the Termes and Knights head towards the wounded Caladius. In shooting, the Galatus is brought down to 2 wounds remaining. I don't think much else happens. Both units of Termes charge the Caladius and obviously muller it, with the Deathwing Knights then taking the objective. And Azrael charges the SAG guard, killing 4 and leaving 1 left alive. Quite a predictable turn for Dark Angels, then, and at the end of battle round 3 it's 52-38 to Custodes. My turn 4 cards are Deploy Teleport Homer and Behind Enemy Lines.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm not scoring those this turn. I think that was after I burned through 1 as well. The Prosecutors, with their mighty OC2, are able to steal the objective back off the Deathwing Knights. The Caladius couldn't escape, as with its movement it couldn't completely clear the lower ruins with its base, which is a bullshit 10th rule by the way, so it's stuck in this little quadrant.
It's bullshit!
The Dread heads for Azrael, and I don't have a picture but my Custodian squad on the right flank march off in hot pursuit of Samael. The Vindy has a crack at Azrael, but leaves him with 3 wounds remaining. The Caladius just completely whiffs against the Redemptor, I think. Sadly, the Galatus then blows its one chance to actually do anything, and fails its charge into Azrael.
Useless.
The Custodians have better luck, though, making their charge into Samael, whom they proceed to muller. I'll score at least 8 for primaries then, but scored no secondaries this turn. Dark Angels turn 4 cards, engage on all fronts and storm hostile. Fuck's sake.
It's fucking stupid.
Well, a pretty insane turn here. Dark Angels score 8 for Hold More, finish off 3 units, namely the SAG guard, the Dreadnought, and the Prosecutors, for another easy 8 for Kill More, and also score both of their secondary cards. Fuck.
They ruined it for me!
The Knights pile into the Caladius. At the end of turn 4, Dark Angels have managed to sneak into the lead, 62-60. My turn 5. For my cards, I still have Behind Enemy Lines, and I discarded Teleport Homer and draw Secure No Man's Land. I was on 1 objective, with the Termes, so get 4 for Hold 1. The Termes then move to target Azrael's unit, the Caladius falls back, and the Custodians head for the Infiltrators on his home objective. The Vindicare Assassin gets the hell out of dodge so it doesn't give up any kill points. In shooting, the Custodians make short work of the Infiltrators. The Termes don't manage to finish off Azrael, though. I score 3 points for Behind Enemy Lines, and it's on to Dark Angels turn 5. Their cards are Cleanse and Investigate Signals. They score 8 for Hold More, and with free reign over a large portion of the board, they easily cleanse 2 objectives, for 5 points. They then advance the Redemptor Dreadnought into the top left corner to score 2 points for Investigate Signals. With my remaining units out of sight, out of range, or tough to shift, they don't manage to kill any units this turn, so they only score 8 for primaries, whereas I score 12. The scores are getting pretty close, so let's take a look at how they shake out at the end. It's a 77-75 victory for Dark Angels. I pipped ahead on primaries, but the combination of scoring only 1 secondary card in turns 4 and 5, whilst Dark Angels scored 4, meant they were able to eke out a victory. The scores were done on a free app called Tabletop Battles, which I just started using and highly recommend. Hey, we did all 5 turns with time to spare.
Okay.
So, another day, another tally on the string of recent losses.
Ta-da!
Unbelievable.
Come on.
I had a similar experience at the start of 8th and 9th too, as it took me a while to adapt to the new rules and get a handle on my armies, especially as I flit around so much. In this match I just needed to score one more secondary card, or perhaps be a bit more canny with my units and deny a kill or kill more, and it would have ensured victory, but it wasn't to be. I felt there was some more use I could have got out of the termies, too, if I'd had enough CP to make their objectives sticky and then use Golden Light to move them around for teleport homers or more behind enemy lines points or something. Alas, I didn't have enough CP at that point in the game. We both remarked that it was an incredibly fun match though, especially as it was so close. Going forward, I may drop the jet bikes, as they seem pretty useless overall, and lean more into infantry. Gotta get some wardens painted up. In more general terms, I might flip back to Thousand Suns for my next report, as I have a frickin' awesome Mutalith proxy model to use for a second Mutalith Vortex Beast, or if I can get a handle on Eldar I might do one for them. I then intend to try and get a bit of practice in with one army, not sure which one yet, and stick more consistently to one for a bit. Not sure when the next report will be, but until then, thanks for watching, and thanks to my opponent for the great game. Goodbye.